10 Nintendo Switch eShop games you should be playing right now. These 10 games have a retro vibe to them, or maybe they're just retro in general. And there's even a bonus game at the very end I can't wait to show you. The Wonder Boy collection is out now, and if you grew up with Wonder Boy, this is the perfect collection for you. 4 games jam-packed on this collection, including the first one, Wonder Boy. Now, if you grew up with the NES like I did, you'll know Hudson's Adventure Island. This game is the Hudson's Adventure Island, but it's Wonder Boy. And you play it from Sega, it's Wonder Boy. You play it on the NES, it's Hudson's Adventure Island. Well, this is the arcade version of Wonder Boy, but yeah, still plays the same and everything. Cool with this Nintendo Switch collection, though, is you also have the power to rewind, and you can rewind as much as you want, buddy. Gonna help you a whole lot in this game, because this game gets pretty tough after a while. Not only that, you can even fast forward if you want, to make it a challenge. I do like this game quite a bit. It's, like I said, it's hardly at the later on levels, so looking forward to using that rewind feature as needed. Finally be able to go through this game sometime. And you can also save state your progress too, so you can jump back in later on and just continue where you left off. You also have Wonder Boy in Monsterland. And again, this is the arcade version, but it's interesting that they made a game like this, where you can go inside these houses and talk to people, and you get your sword and attack people, get money, go inside other places, get your items and all that. It's a game like this, but it was an arcade game? Well, I suppose if you think about it, Willow, the arcade game from Capcom, was a lot like this too, where you could go around and you hit enemies and you get money. You can use that money to buy items and buy upgrades. So all good on this one. Again, the arcade version, this is Wonder Boy in Monsterland. Also in this collection is Wonder Boy in Monster World. Now this is the Sega Genesis version. They've had a couple of other versions of this. I believe they had one for the Master System. I think they had one for the TurboGrafx 16 as well, which was called Monster Lair, I think. Very cool that they added this one. This one's a lot of fun. This one actually plays a lot like that arcade game that you just saw a second ago. I mean, it's a lot like it. But it's still kind of its own thing, so definitely worth checking out. And these Wonder Boy games, they always love their beachside levels, don't they? And finally in this collection we have Wonder Boy 4. Don't need to talk about this one a whole lot. This one's been done even recently, and cool that I have this on this collection as well. It was a Mega Drive game, never came out for the Sega Genesis, available through other Genesis means. And all of them, rewind, fast forward, save state. Very cool collection to have. I encourage you to pick up this Wonder Boy collection, but I also encourage this company to please, please, please release a Hudson's Adventure Island collection. I want Adventure Island. I want 1, 2, and 3. Give me that 4th one on the Famicom that never came out officially for the US. Give me the Super Nintendo versions. I'd be all about it. I will never get sick of the Cotton games, and Cotton Fantasy, it's one of the best. Superlative Night Dreams, sure, why not? The Cotton games are commonly known as a cute-em-up. It's a shoot-em-up, but it features these cute kind of anime characters here. And this one you get to choose who you want to play as, including Kawase from, they have their own Super Famicom game, which is kind of cool to see them on here too. And the Cotton games, colorful, bright, the music's always cool. Not quite a bullet hell, it seems like it sometimes, but it's not too bad. You can navigate through this pretty well. You do have like a rapid fire, so you can just keep firing, but if you hold the button down, then let go, you can unleash one of these crystal powers, and that's going to help you out a lot along the way too. Fun to see the characters, fun to see the levels, fun to see the enemies, fun to see where you're going to go. These bosses are insane! I do like the bosses in these Cotton games, but I also just love the anime art style of these Cotton games. They're always fun. Other modes you can unlock too to help you out, just to go through these levels and see what else is out there, and try out the different players, see how they operate. Maybe you like someone more than the other one, I don't know. A lot of fun to be had with these Cotton games, definitely one you want to check out. And if you've never played a Cotton game, this is a great first one to start with. Here's Ganrio 2, and if you're like, well, where's the first one? Well, the first one came out for the Neo Geo back in like the late 90s, and bringing that back to this Neo, that's right, I mean, it's like, hey, that looks like the guy from Samurai Showdown. Well, maybe it is, I don't know. This game, it plays a lot like Shinobi. If you're a big fan of Shinobi and you've never played Ganrio for the Neo Geo, not too many people have. But if you're down with Shinobi, man, you gotta be down with this game. Available right now for your Nintendo Switch. Definitely want to check it out. You got your sword slashing, you got they're not shurikens, but they're your little throwing dagger things. There's a name for them. The name escapes me right now. I'm sure you're yelling at me in the screen saying, it's a kunai or whatever. You got your dashing attacks, you got your double jump, you got your wall jump. Gotta love games with a wall jump, man. It is that old school action that I miss in a lot of today's video games. So they're like, oh, this, it reminds me of an older game. Well, yes. These are the games that I enjoy playing. I still play the older games, and when I play a newer game, I wanted to play like an older game I'm familiar with. So if it's a game like this, which plays a lot like a Shinobi, I'm down with that, man. Just enough of a difficulty level too, where it's like, ah, man, like, you know, why do I keep getting attacked in the same spot every time? Well, that's my own fault anyway. Got some bosses in this game too. They ain't gonna trouble you too much anyway. You're gonna have a pattern for all of them. Very cool game. So glad that this game is now on the Nintendo Switch. This is Ganrio 2. You want to check it out. Flynn's Arcade always makes some pretty cool stuff. And Galacticon, well, this game plays not just like a retro arcade game, but it's like inspired by several awesome retro arcade games from way back in the day. First glance, a little bit like Joust, right? 'Cause you're flying around, you got these floating platforms and everything, but then it's also a little bit like Defender. Not just, you know, how your lasers look and everything, but you have to pick up these people and put them in their pods at the bottom of the screen. You get bonus points if you collect several of them. You can, you know, grab 4 of them at a time, put all 4 of them in one spot. There's also strategies to gain extra points at the end of the level where it's like, you know, make them all the same color, or, you know, or mix them up and stuff like that. There's different things going on with this game. I could have seen this game in the arcade. I would have loved to have seen it in the arcade. There's definitely an element of competitiveness when you play this game as well. As far as like, you know, like going for the high score, you know, knowing you can do better next time. Sometimes you just take everything for granted. You're just like, I can do this. And then you just, you know, make that one move that, you know, makes you blow up. Or something like that. You gotta watch out for that. Once you have all your characters in their pods, then it turns into, hey, another old school video game. What about asteroids? Well, when you break these, they don't start separating, so you still have to go through this asteroid belt to get to your ship, which is located above you. And then, hey, a little bit like Galaga. Well, not quite. But that is how you get to your ship, and that is what helps you move on to the next level. You do it all over again. A lot of fun to be had with Galacticon. Definitely want to check it out for your Switch. And I've talked about the Fixture grip before in a couple of videos in the past. Completely customizable screen. The Switch screen attaches directly to your Pro Controller. But the coolest thing of all, I'm super excited about this, there is now a John Riggs version. You can grab your Riggs Edition Fixture through the Fixture website. Thank you for this. Everything's linked in the description below. Kao the Kangaroo. Now, if you long for the days of the Nintendo 64 style 3D platformer, if you miss all those great games that you grew up playing maybe for the PlayStation 1, even PlayStation 2, that just had this open world feel to it, where you can go around, you can turn the camera around, defeat enemies that way, maybe find all the coins, maybe you can't find a coin, you gotta turn the camera around, see that it's underneath something, pick up all these other items and stuff like that, defeat the enemies when you see them. That's what this game's all about. This game has that old school vibe, buddy, I'm telling you. Kao the Kangaroo, super fun. You got these giant boxing gloves because kangaroos and boxing go hand in hand. Is it fist and fist? I don't know. And the action part of the game, it's nice. It's actually pretty nice. You only have 3 hit points to start out with anyway. Again, I had a lot of fun just playing this game and playing around and exploring and everything like that. This is very early footage here. I mean, the game is released. I mean, this is early in the game footage that I'm playing right here. So you can kind of see what's going on. You do have like a ground pound. You got your punches. You can do like a stiffer punch to, you know, might take you a little bit longer to pull off, but you'll attack the enemy better. And maybe you've seen the Kao the Kangaroo like in the eShop or something like that. And you're just like, I don't know, man. I'm kind of on the fence about it. I might check it out, man. I mean, if you like those 3D platformers, those 3D cartoony platformers, that's what this game's all about. I think you're gonna like it. Part of the Neo Geo Pocket Color selection is Biomotor Unitron. This game brings you a Neo Geo Pocket Color right onto your Switch screen. I gotta love that. And Biomotor Unitron was one of the RPGs available for your Neo Geo Pocket Color. I didn't have a Neo Geo Pocket at all, so I missed out on pretty much every game that was ever released for it. However, if you're into that RPG style, JRPG style, pretty cool to have. Boy, talk about old school. I mean, this is just that game, but it plays on the Switch, and it gives you a cool little frame to check that out too. Now you walk around, you can run into enemies, you gotta fight the enemies, you know, just how do you want to fight the enemy? What do you want to do? Got your overworld map telling you where you want to go. Maybe you want to hop into town, maybe you want to talk to some of the townsfolk, get some tips, get some clues, just see what's up around town, you know? Talk to this, well, you know. Fun just to grow around the town anyway, how about that? And then when you're on the overworld map, where you want to go. You know, a few places you can check out, you know, fight some enemies, go do some treasure hunting and stuff like that. Yeah, you're gonna have these enemies in the way. Of course you're gonna have these enemies in the way. That's how you build up, that's how you level up. When in doubt, you can leave and go somewhere else. Man, there's a lot of places to explore in this game. If you're looking for another JRPG that maybe you haven't played before, well, there's this one on the Neo Geo Pocket Color. Jack in Hat. Jack in Hat. Okay, well not only does it feel like an NES game from back in the day, even gets you little cutscenes here. It also plays like one too, which is perfect. I love fighting games like this, and Jack and Hat is perfect for one of those type of games. Just give me that old school 2D cartoony platformer. I'm down. You smash the blocks, might find some coins and stuff inside them, and you also have your hat, and your hat can be thrown to use as a weapon. It'll come right back to you. There's a Famicom game called Time Zone. That's a really great game, it really is. And the hat throwing technique reminds me of Time Zone. But this game itself, I mean, you can tell just by looking at it. You can also jump on the enemies' heads if you feel like it. That's fine too. Some enemies you can't jump on their heads, so you have to throw your hat at them. And you can already tell exactly what kind of game this is just by looking at this footage already. Jack and Hat might be worth checking out. I mean, a lot of things going on, a lot of levels here and everything. This game's called 10, and this game is amazing. I've had a lot of fun with this game. When I see a game that looks like this, my immediate gut instinct is like, oh no, not another one of these. It's called 10 because the purpose isn't to beat the level in 10 seconds. The purpose is to survive for 10 seconds. So you're stuck in these rooms. You can't move. You're stuck in these rooms. I mean, you could move left and right and jump around and everything, but the door does not open up until 10 seconds later. And then everything else in the room goes away. You can mosey on to the next stage where another thing happens all over again. Got these coins that pop up too. Grab those coins because those coins also disappear after 10 seconds. No, don't worry about it. It's not like a one-hit kill. You get your 3 hits per level. But then the problem is if you lose a life, you go all the way back to the beginning. Some levels even have these bombs that are about to detonate, and if you don't grab all of the bombs, then you die. Then they blow up, and then you blow up with it. So you have to grab all the bombs, and that can get pretty stressful to get to them in time. There's something going on in all these stages. The game is called 10, just T-E-N, 10. Look up 10, grab this game. And it's not as frustrating as some of the other games that look like this. I've been having a lot of fun with this game. Samurai Riot. Riot! Throwback. No. This. Sorry, I was having a 90s moment for a second there. Samurai Riot is, well, it's a side-scrolling beat 'em up. It's a side-scrolling beat 'em up. You have 2 playable characters, and you have to beat up these. Why you gotta wear glasses? Come on, I wear glasses. You have a punch button, a kick button. You can jump around them and everything too. You can charge up your punch to throw a punch, and you can also charge up your kick to do another special item. Now, the person I'm playing as here, if you charge up your kick, you throw your fox at them, basically, to defeat enemies all along the way. And if you're into these side-scrolling beat-em-ups, I know there's several options on the Nintendo Switch especially, but Samurai Riot gives it that samurai feel to it. Well, it gives it a samurai vibe to it. How about that? I kind of dig the graphics here. I dig the fact that it's, that kind of a little bit cartoony, a little bit almost like paintbrushed, hand-drawn a little. I mean, especially like the background stuff. I've been digging that about this game too, Samurai Riot. Of course, even better as a 2-player game, but you can play this game as a 1-player like I'm doing for this footage here. Check out Samurai Riot. It's available right now. Remote Life. Oh my goodness, the visuals in this game are insane. Whoever did the graphics and the graphic design for this game, I think deserves a raise. I love how this looks. It is a side-scrolling. It is a horizontal shooter. I do love my horizontal shooters. Space horizontal shooter, that's fine by me. Could never go wrong. You got several weapons you can choose from. Some of them have a finite amount of ammunition, and then sometimes you get like unlimited. Depends on what you're using here, but you can cycle through them and everything too. You can pick up like burst bombs along the way as well. And it's a horizontal shooter. It's moving pretty slow, and it's less about bullet hell, more about environmental. And just how stuff looks, how it vibes, how it animates. It just gives that kind of like H.R. Giger ness to it. You know what I mean? When you're just like, oh, it's like, in a good way, right? Remote Life, the name of this game. Check it out. You definitely got to check out Freshly Frosted. This is a donut building puzzle game. You have to lay out the conveyor belts to make the donuts, and you have to do them in order too. So first goes the frosting, then the sprinkles, then the whipped cream, then the cherry on top, if needed, as needed. And it's always going to be in that order, but not always you need all 4 ingredients. It just depends on what the puzzle is for that specific level. In fact, some levels you have dual conveyor belts, or maybe 3 or 4 conveyor belts, where you have to kind of build around everything, where one of them is just going to be plain, one of them is just going to be frosted, one of them is going to be, up to whipped cream, but no cherry. Things like that, so you got to look out for those and everything too. I've been having a blast with this game, super love playing this game, and there might be a different gimmick added per level too, which is really fun. And you definitely got to check it out because if you look at the credits, I'm in the credits. How amazing is that? That's right, I'm in the credits. Freshly frosted, super awesome. Check it out. Man, I can't even believe this. Check this out for yourself. Everything's linked in the description below.